G'day everybody, welcome back to Starfield. Hope you guys are doing well. We've just been out and about near Sidonia, visiting an abandoned mine, trying to recover some research that belongs to both this Dr. Percival and this, I think his name is Cooper Cambridge, and we've decided to sort of retrieve it just so that Cooper would be willing to sort of assist us with trying to find Dr. Percival, who's obviously undercover. So the research is in hand. Let's actually turn it in.
You've got the slate. Let me see. Reduced joint wear? Oh, increased lifting capacity. A dose of this stuff could make a miner way more efficient. This formula's gotta be worth at least as much as whatever Percival owes. Okay, so here's what you do. Tell Octai and the Trade Authority you found a business proposal that will make miners more efficient, higher yield, synergy, you know, all that business crap. And that you'll trade it to him for clearing Percival's debt. You good at doing pitches and stuff like that?
I could sell ice to a cold guy. You don't want me to ask for money?
You can try if you feel confident, but I didn't want to push our luck. Besides, if that drug gets big, I think everyone benefits. So, you think you can sell him on it?
I can give it a try.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, and here, a copy of the formula for yourself, in case you ever want to try maximizing your own industrial output. Oh, use that if you can. Good luck.
The Red Devils aren't exactly your average bar crowd. You can see it in their eyes. We don't belong here.
Okay. Well, I thought that we would actually manage to get Percival's whereabouts from Cambridge Cooper himself, but I guess I'm wrong. We actually need to use this research to convince the Trade Authority to let go of the debt that Percival's in. So I wasn't exactly banking on that, because I'm not keen on actually making the Trade Authority benefit even more. I wonder if we could still break into the Trade Authority and actually just reduce the debt. Okay, maybe not, because I don't see that as an option anymore. Maybe once we pursue one avenue, I think we're sort of locked in here. So, my bad. Well, anyway, we've already done the work, so let's actually go in there and talk about making a deal here. Hopefully, we get to actually use our persuasion skill a little bit and do it that way.
Was there something else?
I have a business proposal for you, a lucrative one.
I'm never one to turn away an opportunity, but I'd be curious what you think you've uncovered in the Martian market that others have missed.
Turn aqueous hematite into liquid credits with my patented new phenomenon. A chem made from aqueous hematite. I call it pick-me-up.
Aqueous hematite, iron and wastewater. Well, I'm not surprised no one has proposed something like this before. And exactly what does this new drug of yours do?
Makes your miners more efficient. I've got the data here to prove it.
An interesting proposal, if your data pans out. But where's this hematite coming from? The active mines would be too expensive to retool. The deep mines could be an option, but they're full of spacers, or so I've heard.
I already cleared them out. Won't cost you a credit to get started.
Well now, that is intriguing. A completely untapped resource pool, and the sort of utility every mining firm in Sidonia would be clamoring to get their hands on. We could contract out all the actual lab work, bring on one of the hungrier mining concerns for materials, the licensing fees alone. And think what it would do for our image with the general populace. This mine, reopened thanks to the Martian Trade Authority. Very interesting indeed. And what do you want for the rights to this drug?
I want you to clear Percival's debt.
Dr. Walker's dead? That's it? Consider it wiped. Well, it seems we have a deal then. And here, a finder's fee from the authority. A perfectly reasonable amount for a discovery with this sort of potential. Wouldn't want you feeling shortchanged down the road. We'll just be taking that slate before you have any second thoughts. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Captain.
Austin, subterranean particle detonation imminent.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure I feel like we've won here. It almost feels like we have definitely been shortchanged. I mean, we only got like 2,000 creds there. That doesn't seem... Whoa, okay. One of those detonations again. Doesn't seem like a good trade. I wonder if we could have made heaps more money for, you know, handing in the recipe to those chems, and then basically with the overwhelming amount of creds, maybe we could have cleared Percival's debt. Yeah, anyway, it's a little bit too late for that now. Let's have a chat with the bartender once more, and let's see what he says next once he learns that the debt is gone. I was just wondering whether or not there are any folks here that are worth speaking to. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah?
I took care of Percival's debt to the Trade Authority, mate.
Did you now? Fine work. My end of the bargain then, I suppose. He's holed up in the old Red Devil's HQ. Place was sealed up tight after the UC shuttered our unit, but we snuck him in the back entrance through the deep mines. Was also going to warn you about spacers down there. But it sounds like you might have already tossed those dregs. Here, the passkey. And I'll let him know there's someone he owes one hell of a thank you on their way down.
Drill waste room access key added. Okay, nice. Okay, now we know what that door leads to. Didn't even realize. What's going on in here? I suppose it'll be stealing if we took any of this stuff. Alright. Well, I wasn't expecting needing to go back to, you know, to the deep mines. Can we speak to Cambridge again?
Not a lot of folks would have stuck their necks out for a stranger like that.
Anyway. Well, it looks like we're back to the deep mine, so why don't we fast travel to the ship first, and we'll get going from there.
We'll be lucky if we pull anything organic off this rock.
Okay, I wasn't expecting to be delivered right at the elevator again, but I'm not complaining. Does take a while to try and get back down there if we had to do things manually all over again. Alright, so it should just be over here. There we go. I don't suppose there'd be any enemies around here. I suppose maybe Dr. Percival is kind of lucky because those spaces never really made it beyond this point. So if they managed to unlock that door, I think he'd be stuffed. Okay, there's a pathway over there, or... I mean, doesn't look like we'd die if we... Oh, Lord. I was just gonna say, doesn't look like we would die if we dropped down.
Well, this explains why the miners ceased drilling. Someone must have missed this natural cavern on the geological survey. Shame.
You know, to stick it to the Trade Authority, I'm almost tempted to just, like, mine out all of the hematite here and leave them absolutely nothing. I suppose it doesn't really matter. And I'm wondering whether or not this place would have more miners in it later on down the track. You know, once we sort of leave this area and perhaps maybe come back after a few days. Grab that. Okay, so that might work for the lowest layer. That looks all right. That looks okay as well. I wonder if this would fit. No. Alright, let's just get this unlocked first, just to remove any confusion. Okay, we don't exactly have a lot of options for this layer. I think we're gonna have to use these two, no matter what. That looks okay. Maybe. Yeah, okay. I think that works. So let's do this. Alright, nice. We get here. Extended mag auto rivet. The hell is that? Okay, it is a weapon of some sort, but I mean, I'm guessing it's technically supposed to be used for construction, but anyway, we'll just take everything anyway.
Know your way around a lock.
How are we going for weight? Not looking good. And I think the last time we went to sell stuff, we had a few issues specifically at the spaceport. Yeah, there's hematite everywhere. Again, I'm not going to bother too much because I feel like that's just going to take up so much time. Okay.
Constructing that massive structure in this cavern must have been quite a feat. I suppose it was a bit like building a ship in a bottle.
Well, we'll see what this base is all about. Seems very hidden. I'm not entirely sure if it's just going to be this Percival guy or if there's going to be anyone else in this base, but we'll soon find out. Doesn't seem to be a lot of stuff outside.
Can't say I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor.
Sir.
Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts?
Dr. Walker, I've got a tissue sample I need analyzed. Full workup.
Tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that? Must be some damn important cells. You want to tell me what I'm about to be staring at?
Tau Gourmet's own free-range 100% human-fed terramorph cells. Terramorph cells from a world too young to have one.
A fast-growing terramorph. That is concerning. Who exactly told you to bring this to me?
Hadrian Sannon.
Hadrian? She gave you this? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Alright. Let's go in. Hopefully there's some loot here to be had. Or perhaps maybe you'd be stealing, but anyway. Or maybe we're not stealing. I'll grab that.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here, and I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, and Lou mentioned how you took care of the debt. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research, but I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your days.
Yeah. You and me both, mate. I'm not too happy about the Trade Authority either, but,
All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right, just get those cellular markers tagged. Wait, where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinion. I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved.
the sample's not a fake. I collected it from a terramorph myself.
Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinion.
Hey, yeah, Hadrian mentioned it. Sounded like quite a tragedy. Actually, we learned a little bit about it, didn't we? In those slideshows.
It was. An entire city wiped off the map. The swarms were so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Tal Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinion-style attacks can happen outside Londinion, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
It would be the end of us as a species.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now?
Get your boots on. We're going to stop any more attacks before they start. Actually, no. I think I'll go with the first one here. Orders are to take you and that analysis to Hadrian. She should be waiting at the 6th circle.
The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
Red Devil's HQ key added. Okay. So we need to return to the bar. And Hadrian should be there waiting for us. I am curious about whether or not we can find some loot here. I know he said don't touch stuff, but come on, man. Surely there's stuff that we can use here. I mean, he doesn't seem to be the tidiest person either. I mean, if he had to live in the cave for a long time, or live in this base for a very long time, you would think he would have made the place a little bit more livable. Sarah. God, alright. Having 2 people follow you around is really, really bad. I mean, 1 person following you around is janky enough. Vanguard Space Tactics, Volume 2. Ship energy weapons permanently deal 5% more damage. Yes, please. Take that. There must be more stuff upstairs. I mean, considering how all of the things and all of the machines are still on in this place, I'm surprised that the Trade Authority wasn't able to track this guy down through power consumption. I suppose anyone could be consuming this.
Entertaining the notion of xeno-warfare angers me to the core.
Suppose anyone could be using this much energy at any given moment in any part of settled space. But still, you know. Okay. I'm not entirely sure if there's anything else to see. It doesn't seem like there's too much to loot in this place. Okay, what do we have here? Creds, 69. Nice. Alright, well, I think we're done here. Let's get going. And I'm just keen on letting the good doctor go as soon as we meet Hadrian at the 6th circle. Just keeping an eye out for, like, you know, aid packs and stuff that we might be able to use. Yeah, I think we came in through here, but the game's telling us to exit through this door instead. Okay, well, it's an elevator apparently. Alright, and we are in a completely different position. Again. That doesn't matter though, because as long as we're on the surface, we should be able to just fast travel.
Unless we're picking up parts at Deimos or digging for minerals, I hope you have a good reason for landing here.
Alright, just trying to remember if we've got anything that we do want to sell at this point. We've got a new pack, which I could try to get rid of. Question is whether or not the creds have
what can I do for you?
restored here. Yeah, we've got 5,000 creds. Let's get rid of a couple of things. Alright, and I want to take a look at ship inventory here. Maybe there's some stuff that we can get rid of. No. Maybe we don't need the sandwich. Maybe we'll get rid of foods and stuff. Because I think there's a lot of this stuff that was left over from the Frontier. We can definitely use injectors, so let's not get rid of that. And you know what, there could be a need for a lot of these ingredients potentially, but I'm confident that we'll actually find more of this stuff through our expeditions and explorations. So these UC battle meals I think I might keep, because they do give us extra carry capacity, so it might not be such a bad idea. Apparel, yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna keep all of that, that's fine. Alright, let's go. Get ourselves to this bar.
Don't be rude when you have a moment. Do your part to keep Sidonia free.
I wonder if anything would happen if I just, like, spoke to the trade authority with Percival in tow. And if he would have any remarks for those people. Anyway.
Is that really her? Hadrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say...
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
I'm surprised he's not getting any, like, readings and stuff like that from Lou. Okay, so... interesting, having a convo over here. Can we even shut the door? This doesn't seem very secret to me. Oh, we got
Lou gave me
intercom.
the abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
Makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble.
A little more gunfire than I would usually like on my delivery jobs, but nothing I couldn't manage.
Well, that's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinion.
Londinion. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us.
What's the Armistice Archives, and what does it have to do with the Freestar Collective and House Varun?
Well, when the Colony War came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the Armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Varun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all 3 factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that.
Cabinet? What's that?
The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind.
Okay. Doesn't sound like any run-of-the-mill data you're after. I'll have to take an explanation now.
Of course. You deserve the full story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the Armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done.
Still doesn't explain what this Terramorph data is doing in the archives, though.
Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying Terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it.
Why wouldn't the cabinet agree to help us?
I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Varun on our side, that won't be easy.
Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's gonna be up to us to get them on board.
And why should I trust you with this data? How do I know it's not dangerous?
Because the Terramorph project was doomed from the start. Terramorphs are too mean, too smart, too hungry to be used in combat. Trust us, we tried. The data that's in the archives, it's historical write-ups, anatomical notation, food chain analyses. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a Xeno-warfare logo on it. You have my word. It's not a threat.
Okay, well, let's go talk to this cabinet.
All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
What can I help you with?
Alright, well, things are getting bigger and bigger, it seems. Eyewitness. Meet Hadrian in New Atlantis, Mass District. Cool. So I guess this is a brand new mission now. Again, sort of following on with the Vanguard storyline. But we do have this next one here, which is also from the Vanguard Deep Cover. So Commander Tuala wants us to report to, I think, another ship, UC Vigilance. So we need to speak to Commander Kibwe and I guess await orders. So I think that's what we'll get up to next. I mean, tempting to just continue on with some of the Constellation stuff, but I don't know. I kind of like doing the stuff for the Vanguard. We're sort of picking up some very interesting things.
Probably less than a 10% chance to go blind. I'm just gonna wait until that drug's in production. Then I'm telling everyone Percival and I saved Mars. Oh, and you, of course. And you.
This guy actually has, like, long hair. Didn't even realize. Alright, so let's actually get this mission started. So I don't know where the UC Vigilance is, but I guess we'll find it on the map soon enough. Definitely seems to be in the Sol system. And actually it seems to be in orbit of Mars, so not far away at all.
I picked up something you might be interested in.
Oh wow, look at this thing. Gigantic. I guess it's some kind of maybe destroyer class or cruiser class or something like that. Anyway, do I want to have a chat with Sarah? She seems to have stuff for us, but if it's anything like what Barrett gives us, it's probably just food. A whole bunch of stuff scattered around. Oh yes, yeah, and that is supernatural.
Something you need?
Do you have stuff for me?
I thought you'd never ask. Here.
Okay. Definitely just pretty random stuff. Do you mind if I ask you some personal questions?
Not at all.
Do you have any religious beliefs?
My parents considered themselves to be enlightened, but their lives were so busy they rarely pursued their beliefs. By the time I was old enough to start questioning these things, the idea of following any organized religion was almost an afterthought. It's not that I don't want to believe in anything, it's that my scientific mind is often at odds with my spiritual center. Having been out there, in the Starfield, seeing all those magnificent wonders with my own eyes, I need answers, not religious theory. I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but don't worry. While we're on this journey together, I fully intend to respect your religious beliefs.
I don't think we chose any starting point where we believed in any form of religion. But anyway. What do you consider your areas of expertise?
You mean apart from being the chair of Constellation for the past 5 years? Well, let's see. I pride myself with my aptitude for astrodynamics, calculating optimal trajectories for grav jumping. That's been quite useful in the past. And as far as planetary exploration, my area of expertise is botany. So, don't worry. I won't let you eat anything that might put you in the hospital.
Alright, well, that's it for now.
Very well. Next time, then.
Right, so
Until later.
since we're here, I think I might pick up, say, Sam to be a companion just for a little bit, because, you know, we've been with Sarah for a few episodes, and we've been with Barrett quite a lot of episodes as well, so maybe let's get a move on with Sam. And
so how much of a thrill has it been traveling with the one and only last descendant of the great Solomon Coe? Is it everything you imagined?
it doesn't matter to me that you're a Coe. The last Coe? What about Cora and your father?
Ain't you ever heard of sarcasm, friend? Okay, so how's it traveling with one of the great Coes? That better?
I think you're doing your family proud.
Well, that's a first. I gotta say, it's a relief being with you. So many people hear Coe and they expect me to pull some miracle out of a hat. Time has a way of just building on itself. Solomon was a good man. Great one, even. But if he ever heard all the bullshit being talked about him these days, he'd flat out deck him.
Why do they revere Solomon so much?
There's books about him. Lots of them. Alright, a couple of high notes. He was one of the first grav jump explorers, back when they had no idea of the dangers. First solo jump out of Sol System, all him. He explored all the planets in Cheyenne and settled Aquila. Plus he formed the whole Freestar Collective with Voli. So, as you can see, the names got some serious heft.
Well then, I want my miracles.
It appears I left him in my other jacket. Sorry. But really, for some people, it ain't a joke. They have serious expectations. Yeah, there was a time, well before Cora, where it really weighed on me. Felt like every little thing I did or didn't do was a reflection on our great legacy. It's enough to drive you crazy. Now I just hope I can help Cora to... I don't know.
Every parent wants their children to learn from their mistakes.
Well then, Cora's gonna get a 5-star university education from me.
Haha.
For my father, Cora, and me, everything starts and ends with Solomon Coe. He looked out at the stars, and he dreamed a way to get there. Imagine being the first person to jump into a new system, set foot on a new world. Well, I get it. That's powerful stuff. And now... I'm just getting sappy. You're a bad influence, you know that?
You really do have the heart of an explorer.
You say the damnedest things. Well, I hope the comic book they make about our adventures is better than that rag on Solomon. The stuff they publish is just downright embarrassing.
Alright. As I said, guys, I'm going to get Ko to
I could really bend
follow
your ear
us.
when you got a moment. Where to begin? That temple? The hell was that? I've been from one end of the settle systems to the other more times than I could count. But I've never, and I mean never, encountered something like that. Who built it? Why? So many questions.
You think the temple is proof of sentient alien life?
Maybe? For centuries we've been looking for something definitive that says we're not alone out here. I just can't see the UC, Freestar Collective, or House Varun building that thing. The temple. Or maybe it's just some crazy gazillionaire's party temple. The ultra-rich do some seriously crazy things. Somehow I doubt it.
I don't mind admitting that I'm scared, both of the experience and what it means.
I think that just means you're sane. And what you can do? I am not a scientist, not in the least. But that ability, power, is just plain scientifically impossible.
It almost feels magical.
Okay, just don't say that back at the lodge. Some of them would blow a gasket if you suggested that. Well, forget about me, how are you? I mean, whatever happened, it could have deep physiological effects. I hope not mental. And even if everything's perfect, still, I can't imagine what's going through your head.
I have this powerful craving now for human brains. Just kidding.
You. Same old you. The other Constellation members are gonna lose their minds once they hear about this. Assuming they even believe us.
Alright.
It's good to be out and about. The lodge gets stuffy sometimes.
Are you ready to head back out?
You know me. I'm always up for the next adventure.
Okay, Sam. I'm trusting you to stay out of trouble. Think you can handle that?
Hey, Captain. Need help with anything?
Alright, so while we're here, let's also just quickly take a look at the crew menu and make sure that Sarah's assigned to the Frontier. Cool. So, can we also get Andrea to... Hang on, crew from any location can be assigned to a landed ship. Okay, well the ship's not landed. Anyway, doesn't matter. Alright, so let's make our way to this ship. And let's speak to the commander that might actually be waiting for us. Maybe we should hail it.
Welcome, Captain. We've been expecting you. You're clear to dock at docking port 1.
Sweet.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
So much fun.
Captain, do you require my assistance?
Not right now, Vasco. I assume you're just gonna hang out in front of the entrance of the ship, but anyway.
Welcome aboard the UC Vigilance. Did you have any questions before I escort you to the commander?
Sorry, what can you tell me about the UC Vigilance?
I'm not authorized to divulge information about this vessel. Suffice to say, it's one of the toughest ships in the UC's arsenal.
It definitely looks pretty badass, so don't want to mess with one of these ships. Before I meet the commander, is there anything I should know?
Yeah, listen to him carefully. The commander's a one-and-done kind of officer. In other words, he hates to repeat himself. Other than that, just observe standard military decorum, and it should keep you from serving any time on the ship's cleaning detail.
Yeah. Alright. Well, we'll ask him as many times as we need to be honest, so if he needs our help, that is. Alright, so let's get this started.
Understood? If you'd follow me, please. So, you're the vanguard that took down that terramorph on Tau City. You've made quite an impression around here. Everyone upstairs is talking about it. Damn, that must have been one hell of a firefight. I almost regret missing out on all the fun. Of course, we don't normally see that kind of action on the Vigilance, but we have our moments. All right, Vanguard. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Akande should be waiting for you. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. And I would really be saying that, you know, fight with a terramorph is, you know, fun. That's probably not the right word for it.
Excuse me.
Wow, look at this place. Sam, do you want to come in, or do you want to just, like, stand there in the corner?
Okay, hello. I'd like to brief you on the mission, so please, pay attention. Ah, there you are. Commander Kibwe Kande, UC SysDev. Glad to have you aboard. I was beginning to think you were having second thoughts about Commander Tuala's offer.
UC SysDev, is that another division of the UC military?
UC SysDev is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle big picture stuff, we deal specifically with pirates. Since you're already involved with the Vanguard, I don't have to underline how important your contribution will be to the security of our spaceways.
I still don't quite understand why I'm here.
Yes, I know. I was intentionally vague when I advised Mast of my needs, but rest assured, I'll answer all your questions in due time. So, now that you're part of the team, allow me to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDev's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet.
What exactly is the Crimson Fleet?
That's strange. According to your file, you've encountered them before. On Vectera specifically. They were the pirates that attacked your mining outpost? I'm surprised you don't remember.
Impressive ship, but I don't see where I fit in.
Whether this ship is impressive or not, you're the key element that we've been lacking. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse.
Alright, okay, here we go. So we're gonna have to go undercover. We can try and persuade him to... I'm not entirely sure what the outcome of this persuasion will be exactly, but... Get me in a room with them, and I'll talk to them into anything.
Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention.
Aurora?
Aurora is a Class A controlled substance that's illegal to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volai. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines.
She can probably sniff out a narc from a sector away.
That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know.
I thought we tried to persuade him before, but we don't have that little persuasion mini-game that we usually have to do. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there, or perhaps maybe I hit the wrong response before misclicked. But anyway. Why bother gathering evidence?
Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow.
Okay, so it sounds like there's a bit of bureaucracy happening in the UC military circles, but reminds me of corporate politics as well. Point me the way and I'll get it done.
Eager to get going? Good. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down.
What if I get in over my head?
Then you better learn to swim, because you're diving right into the deep end on this one. I've studied your profile. I know you can do this. I'm not about to throw away someone's life on a whim or a prayer. Just use your best judgment, trust your instincts, and watch your back.
Mate, I only did like a couple of missions with the Vanguard, and you're already telling me to go undercover? What the hell? Alright, well, I'll do my best.
I wouldn't expect any less. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control.
Can you explain SysDef's code of conduct and ethics?
To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary. At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good.
What do you mean, stray too far off the path?
The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that?
I can't make any promises. Alright, I'll stay the course.
That's what I wanted to hear. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck.
What happens if I get arrested while I'm undercover?
For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines.
How'll I maintain contact with you?
That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own.
I'm not even sure about this Saurise Bowden.
All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got.
Ah yes, okay. I forget, she's our contact in the Trade Authority. Alright.
You were saying?
Can you tell me more about my expected behavior as an agent?
While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place.
Okay, right. So I guess we're gonna have to make some very, very tough choices here. I've never had a problem doing what I had to do to survive.
As long as you can distinguish between surviving and thriving, you'll do just fine. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing.
Alright, cool. Well, I think it's time to go.
You have your orders.
If there's anything about this mission that we might be able to do, it'll be a lot more of that persuasion stuff. So hopefully that's going to be the case. Maybe we can persuade a few Crimson Fleet people to not kill innocent people. I'm not entirely sure I actually want a companion to hang around with me if we're going and doing undercover work. So maybe we'll get Sam to go back to the ship. So
Constellation.
oh, maybe I have to bring him back to the ship and tell him to stay there.
So long.
All right, let's have a chat with this person here.
Howdy.
Lieutenant Gillian Toft.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood?
Why do you need physical evidence?
Well, since it isn't every day we stumble across a criminal's fully written confession, we need to build a case against our suspects. The more evidence we acquire, the stronger our case becomes. And knowing the Crimson Fleet, they'll leave plenty of evidence for you to find.
So basically you want me to steal from thieves.
Rationalize it however you like, but that evidence is critical to the success of Commander Akande's operation. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig.
If there is incriminating data out there, I'll find it.
For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard.
You feel like talking about it?
What? No. It's personal. It has nothing to do with you. Just stick to the mission and you'll be fine.
I've seen my fair share of violence.
Then you'll understand why it's so important that this operation is successful. Anyway, before I let you go, there's just one more thing. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts.
Why would you be paying credits during a military operation?
Well, that's just it. You're not career military, are you? And speaking frankly, you're completely out of pocket during this operation. You'll be paying for your own supplies and other unexpected incidentals. So, if I were you, I'd stop asking questions and accept the compensation.
Okay, that's very generous.
It's not generous, it's motivational. Commander Akande's idea. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden. And with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed.
Okay. Feel like discussing your personal experience with the Crimson Fleet?
Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job.
If something's on your mind, it'll make you feel better to get it out into the open.
Yeah. Maybe. No, it's not really an appropriate time to be going over my private life. There are much more important things to be done. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay?
What's gonna happen to the people that you arrest?
We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you.
Okay, that would be kind of cool if we do end up arresting people. What if I get caught with the container of Aurora in my cargo hold?
Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake.
Okay. Alright, well,
Let me know if you need anything else.
we should be on our way then, but because we've got this container of Aurora, I think we don't really have much of a choice but to proceed with this undercover mission for now. So, let's get back to the ship. Sorry guys, bit of a stuttering issue there.
Greetings, Captain.
Alright, well, let's board.
Where I belong.
So, where is Sam? Alright, we'll tell Sam to sort of... okay, yep. Yep, that's totally natural. Sam...
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot.
A
pleasure, as always. You know where to find me.
Yep, cool. So, just relax here, my friend, and, wonder if I can actually get him to hang around in the ship. Oh yeah, he's already in the ship. Yeah, the only person who is unassigned is Andrea. Or Andreja. So yes, I think the next order of things is we're going to go back to Sidonia, have a chat with the Trade Authority contact, who will hopefully get us in touch with the Crimson Fleet, and then we can sort of see about convincing them to let us join. We'll see how that goes. I feel like this is going to end really badly, but anyway. Alright guys, I am signing out for now. Leave a like, a dislike, or a comment or two down below. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one.